Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about how to use hyacinth as cut flowers. It's pretty straightforward, but there are a few tips to help them last a little bit longer in a vase. Now before we get started, hyacinths are toxic, especially the bulbs, so make sure you do your own research and use common sense. You know, wash your hands, don't touch your eyes, watch your kids and pets, those kind of things. The ideal time to cut flowers is either early in the morning or later in the evening when things have cooled down. You want to make sure your buckets and your tools are all clean. That'll just help reduce the bacteria that will cause your flowers to fade too quickly. There are a lot of different ways to go about this. The first one I'm going to talk about is just cutting it with a pair of scissors or snippers or whatever you use, like you would any other flower. This is going to give you the shortest vase life. Here in this video I'm not really using my scissors, but the stem is snapped for me, so that's pretty much the same thing. If you do cut the stems like this, you want to leave them in a vase of water overnight to let them condition, because just like daffodils, they need that extra conditioning time before getting mixed with other flowers. If you would like your flowers to rebloom again the next year, there's a couple things to keep in mind. You need to leave all the foliage there until it turns yellow on its own so it can gather up all that energy for next year's bloom. And in a lot of cases, the bloom quality goes down. So if your hyacinths are big and full this year, next year they might not look exactly the same. So that's a reason why a lot of people treat them as annuals and go ahead and pull the entire bulb. Another way to go about picking these, which I'm not going to talk about, but if you click on the link in the description to my blog post, there's a link of somebody who describes how to do this. If you've ever seen a bunch of hyacinths used by a florist or something, it's almost as if the outside of the bulb has been trimmed away from the flower. So you have a nice straight stem still, but you have a piece of the bulb in the basal plate left on the flower so that the vase life will be longer. I personally don't do this because, like I said, the bulbs can really irritate your hands. Seems like it's a lot of work, and to me it's just not worth it. So I don't do that, which brings us to the third way that I do, and that is I pull the entire bulb up with the plant. If you do a Google search of hyacinth arrangements, you'll see that in a lot of them the base of the flowers are covered, and a good reason for that might be that the bulbs are still attached. I've heard a lot of different things about how much water to add to the bulbs and whatnot. I usually just do about a half or 3/4 away water up to the bulbs, but I've seen people completely cover the bulbs too. Definitely just try different things, see what works best for you. Overall, leaving the bulb on is the way to go for me personally because it's the easiest. All you gotta do is rinse it in a water. You can pick hyacinths before they have actually opened. I like to make sure all the color has developed first though. Seems like if I pick them when they're too immature, it kind of dulls the color a little bit, and I personally don't like that because what's the point of fresh flowers if it's gonna have dull color, you know what I mean? Anyhow, these are extremely fragrant and beautiful, and you only really need one or two to make your whole house smell amazing. I hope this was somehow able to help, and I hope you're having a wonderful day and that it's sunny wherever you are. Bye guys.